Welcome to this edition of the $1 Million Mastermind podcast. This is where we pick the brains of high achievers from all walks of life and get their hard-earned, real-world insights on winning. I'm your host, Larry Weidel. Hello, and I'm talking with Vash Tomanec. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's right.
Vash, and Vash is he's not in Florida, he's not in LA, he's not in New York. Where are you right now, Vash?
So I'm in Prague in the Czech Republic. So for you guys, it's lunchtime. For me, it's evening time.
And so appreciate you joining us. And that's not just where you are at the moment, that's where you're operating from, right?
Exactly. So that's the country I was born and raised. And also all of my three businesses are located here, even though my team is in the United States, all over the world. But that's the headquarters, we could say.
And we have to put, now, is this correct that you're 25 years old? Is that correct?
Yes.
You know, you're the perfect guy. And somehow you found out about the podcast. You said you've listened to a few of the episodes, and at least a few of the episodes, and are fired up about what you heard. And I just want to tell you personally, you are the exact person I created the podcast for, which is the up and coming leaders, can-do people that have ambition, have good values, want to make a positive mark in the world. And, we traffic in ideas that have solid validity, solid strategies, and try and package them in a way where we can pass them on to people like yourself who can use them for generations, set things in place for decades anyway, after we're gone. And it's an exciting thing because as long as these principles are living on and being applied, there's really hope for good things to happen in the world. So I'm really excited about you grabbing onto this stuff and what you've been able to do so far. So let's get into this thing where to give people an idea of what you started. First of all, starting out as an Uber Eats driver, delivering food and becoming a millionaire in just 2 years. Touch on that. How old were you when you started driving for Uber Eats?
Yeah, so I was around in my early 20s studying at university. After reading book Rich Dad, Poor Dad, knowing I want to be an entrepreneur, but a lot of people want to have a business and don't do much for it. That was my case. So nobody in my family is an entrepreneur. I didn't come from rich families. So studying university, normal path, and earning money for the living by delivering food. Yeah. And having the idea one day I will start something. But then what happened is I wanted to start marketing agency because I had the knowledge and also there was zero capital needed almost. Yeah. And I was procrastinating on it, delaying it for later, until one day I'm delivering food on the Uber, on the bike, basically, meeting the other guys from the company. And I see how unhappy they are, Larry, how they just can't provide their families with what they want, how they can't take them to vacation and stuff like that. And that's the moment when almost fire was burning inside of me. Vash, you don't want to end up like this. We are going to take action. And then that moment, things started changing because it wasn't about, I would like to start a business. It was about, we are doing it right now. Yeah. And I followed this framework that I came up with is first I set a vision. So what do I want? Because a lot of people don't know what they want. When we open Google Maps, what is the first thing we need to put there? Where you want to go? So I had to set a clear vision of where I want to go, what numbers I want to be hitting. And second was knowing why I want it. Because if I was doing it just for the money, for posting it on social media, I would give up because there's plenty of obstacles. But I came up with a strong reason why I will achieve it. I won't give up until I get it. And then I put 3 action steps that I will do every single day until I get to the goal. So first action was I would send 10 personalized videos to potential customers. Because English is not my first language, I would start a 2-hour sales in English. And lastly, I would meditate every single morning, 15 minutes. And what happened? After 63 days, I sent 630 videos. And what happened? Nothing. No meetings, no clients, no money. But I know, Larry, that most people would give up because they would get discouraged. It's not working. Man, I sent so many videos, nothing is happening. But I knew that my time is coming. I know that every video is making me better. And then a few weeks later, I actually hit my first goal. I said with the business, which was hitting $10,000 a month of revenue.
How much later after that first 60 days?
Yeah. So it was 60.
Yeah. Go ahead. Do those timeline again.
Yeah. So 63 days, nothing. Then in the next 2-3 weeks, so by day 90, I'm having $10,000 a month of business. Then 6 months later, I hit 50,000. 6 months later after that, I hit $100,000 a month with that first business.
That's the whole thing about don't quit. And when people like yourself will tell people coming on the way up, trying to do what you're done, and you tell them don't quit. There's reasons why we tell them that, because I worked with a guy who in a big manager meeting once said, he said, I think you wind up succeeding the second time after you want to commit suicide, but you don't. You keep on working. Not the first time, but the second time, but it's like,
I like it.
You get tried, you get, and we hear on this podcast, the privilege to hear from so many people that, they got a death blow from a meteor falling out of the sky on their head, and best person either left or stabbed in the bank, or the bank pulled the funding out from them overnight, and suppliers, this one thing and another, but devastation. And then they kept on going, and then they had their greatest year ever.
I 100% agree. And I think, again, anybody can believe what they want, but I believe that we are being tested how much we want it. Because a lot of people don't want it bad enough. They would love the lifestyle. They would like maybe the recognition. But I tell people they want the outcome, not the process.
Right.
They want to be in shape, but they don't like the process of going to the gym or exercising.
No, nobody likes to work. Yeah.
So I always tell people that you need to have a strong reason why. Like why you truly want it. Because if you want it just for photos or for recognition, that's not a strong reason. You will quit. But if you know this is what I'm going to do no matter what, and I will never quit, then you will never quit.
Well, what exactly did you tell yourself at the end of the 64 days there? What exactly was your thinking?
Yeah. So even though my family is saying you're crazy, I told you it's not going to work. My friends are laughing. Hey, where is your goal? It's already a few months. I knew that through especially the power of compounding, through the improvement, because I'm putting every day, not once a week, I'm doing it every day. My sales skills, my presentation skills, my English is getting better. I knew it's inevitable because I don't know a single person who went after their goal every day, did something great towards it, didn't get it exactly as you said. Like there's nobody. The only people who didn't get it are those who quit. So I decided not to quit.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that when I wrote my book, Serial Winner, it was like, you try to explain this thing to people. Success is never guaranteed. However, you can affect the odds by what you do. Your activity can change the odds of success. And if you keep doing things to stack those odds from against you to for you, you're still never guaranteed until it happens. However, it becomes almost inevitable. just by what you do, because you have so many, it's just like if you start in sales, you have one prospect and you finally get a prospect that looks like they're going to do it, but they haven't done it yet. Well, if you sit around your house waiting for them to call you and say yes, you're doomed. But if you keep doing what you did to get that one prospect, and now you have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If you got 10 or 20 people that are telling you, I like it, I'm going to do it, but they haven't done it yet, you know what? One of them's going to do it, because you just kept stacking the odds. And then what you find out is it can become like a waterfall, a cascade of people saying yes. It's funny how you break the dam, basically, but you have to keep your head down. And the other thing is, like when you were at day 63, 64 there, let me get that straight. 63 or 64?
63.
63. When you're at day 63, the truth of it didn't matter if good things happen on day 63 or bad things, because your job on day 64, regardless, was to keep still doing what you did the first 63 days. So it really didn't make any difference. Once you get that in your mind, it's like sooner or later it's got to happen. And I used to say to myself, they can't all be stupid. They can't all be dumb. They can't all be broke. They can't all be, out of the market. Eventually, if I keep on going, I've got to find them. A squirrel will find a nut if he keeps, scurrying around out there. The activity is what makes a difference. And the great thing about doing the activity is it builds your confidence. You already said that you knew you were getting better. And even if it didn't show up, but you had proved to yourself. And that's the great thing about putting so much time, energy, putting extra effort in, because it gives you that extra confidence when you're challenged. It's like, no, I'm not going to fall for that, because I'm not weak. I'm the one who's been doing all this extra stuff. It's gonna happen. I'm going to do what it takes, and I'm going to keep doing what it takes. And that confidence of having that activity behind you is what I think is so much of this stuff is emotional and body language. I think gets you when you're talking to people. They pick up on that confidence, that belief, that I think they can tell if you've been working or not. I think they can tell if you've been putting in the hour. Would you agree with that?
100,000%, because I know that, for example, sales is transference of emotions. So if I feel confident, I know I'm showing up like nobody else. I know I put the effort in. I will transfer this to the other person. But if I was at the back of my head doubting, can I deliver the service? Am I good enough? Then the prospect would feel it and they are not going to buy. So I 100% agree with that. And I see so many people, especially young ones, with zero confidence because they say they will go gym tomorrow and they don't go. They say tomorrow I will start a business, they don't do it. And as a result, they're knocking their confidence because they say and they don't do. I did the opposite. I said, I did. I said, I did. And sooner I developed this confidence when I just know, hey, if there will be obstacle, I will find a way. I will make a way. Doesn't really matter.
One of the big misconceptions out there is that people who are super successful, they're arrogant, they're pig-headed, they're abrupt, they take advantage of people. What I find is they're some of the nicest people in the world, most dependable. And, if I want a phone call return, I'll call $1 million earner. If I could call a friend or a random person, they might even not notice me, forget it. They say they're going to do it. If they say they're going to send you an email, they're going to follow through in this. They never do. And it's just like it can give you sanity if you really accept the fact that most people are lazy. They don't mean to be lazy. They don't think they're lazy. They're lazy. And most people do not work. Most people do not follow through. Most people don't, most people live in a dirty house. Most people have a dirty car. Most people have, clutter in their life. They never clean up. They're just kind of go through the motions and kind of, they're not motivated by excellence. Most people are not. And so as a result, most people don't they know how they live. Most people know inside they don't deserve great success. And so that's why they're not going to, they know they can't depend on themselves to come through. So as a result, most people don't work hard. So just by working hard, if you're starting out, you need to know if you work hard, you're going to beat 50% of the people. And while you're working hard, you're going to be improving. You're going to be making contacts. You're going to be learning things. You're going to be developing your instincts. And what you're going to start to learn is who are the best people at doing this in that arena. And then you're going to start watching them. And that's how you go up and beat the next 40%, is you start implementing strategies, ideas, game plans, schedules, and everything that the top elite people do. And you start, integrating your life. And that's what we try and do here on the call, is give people things they can start bringing into their life that will help elevate them, because then you get up there in the top 10%, it's just pure competition. Who wants it the most, But you can get in the top 90% just by working hard and by implementing things you see the top people do, their strategies, their ideas. And if you're the 90% group of whatever industry or area of life that you're excited about, you're probably going to be doing pretty well. And so you can get there pretty fast too, as you have proven at age 25. Let me ask you this. You said, I knew I had the skill, the marketing skill. How did you get marketing skill, and what were you offering people? And how did you get that confident?
Yes. So a lot of people also wait until they're such experts until they start to sell their expertise. I acquired my skill through having it bit at the university, which helped just a bit. And on site, I was playing with my friend's store, eCommerce store, and I was running Facebook advertising for him. So I got some experience. I wasn't definitely expert, but I started to feel confident I can do more than these stores. They don't owners who don't know what they're doing. So I started to offer. Immediately, I went to United States and Canada because I just know there's more potential than in my country. So I went straight there, and I was offering to e-commerce businesses selling products online, hey, I will run Facebook and Instagram advertising for you, and we'll grow your revenue. So basically super simple. But because of this, I learned so many great skills. I learned sales. I learned how to basically get people on the call. I learned how to manage.
Now, how did you learn? How did you learn that? And when you said you went to the United States or whatever, you reached out over the internet?
Exactly. Everything was, hey Larry, email, and there was personalized video. So it wasn't generic email. Hey, I'm Vash. No, it was, hey Larry, I recently saw a podcast episode. So even the email was personalized, and then personalized video. So that already got attention. So I separated myself from 99% of agencies who send generic emails. Yeah. And then I got them on a call, and then I would learn selling. And a lot of people think they learn how to sell through books, which I don't believe is the best, because you have it in your head, not in your hands, we could say, or you don't embody it. So I would practice sales with role plays. So friends who would love to be in sales as well, we would role play. Hey, pretend you're the client. I will pretend you're the client then. And we would just role play every day until I got really, really good at selling my service.
Thanks for listening to the $1 Million Mastermind. If you felt there were any valuable takeaways from this episode, please take a minute and leave us a 5-star review. Your feedback is important and really helps us get the word out to a wider audience. Remember, we have a valuable webinar that is absolutely free. Register for it right now at weidelonwinning.com. Thanks for listening.